Hey, fifth grade. For reading workshop today, we're still working in our Space Rock slide deck. So day one, you read the play. Hopefully the audio worked for you and you were able to listen to those HES celebrities read that play to you. And then day two, we came back into the slide deck and we worked on the close reading questions and we talked about those. Today we're on the thinking critically questions. So these typically go a little quicker for you because it's really just your opinion and your feelings about things, and then obviously going back into the article or justifying how you feel or what you think using evidence from the article. So we're just going to kind of jump right in. We only have 2 slides to complete for today, so it's just slide 8 and 9. So there are 3 questions for us to answer. So let's just jump in and get right to it. It says, question 1 says, in scene 8, Pop says getting what you need out of something is better than getting all you can out of something. What does he mean, and how does this idea apply to situations in real life? So this is kind of an ethical question, kind of like, what would you do if you were faced with this situation? So the first thing that you're going to respond to in your answer here is what you think Pop means when he says that. And this is very close to that quote that we saw in the Anticipation Guide by Mahatma Gandhi. So they're really asking you to think about how you would make decisions and maybe what is the right thing to do when you're faced with some of these things. So your first response is going to be, I think Pop means this. So you're basically just telling us what this means, what you think this means, okay? And then the second part of your response for this one is, how does this apply to situations in real life? So if you take the fact that you're given something and it provides you with all that you need, or the option of getting more than you need and just having it, but it may be a greedy kind of thing to do, how would that come into play in life in general? It's kind of asking you to figure out what kind of person you are, maybe, when it comes to things like this. Because if you think about the space rock, I mean, the tempting thing to do there would have been to get as much money as you can for yourself and not worry about everybody else. Let them take care of themselves. But that's not the path that Pop took. He left it up to his family to make the decision, but he wanted to be able to meet his and his family's needs, but he also wanted to be there for his townspeople because he knew what would happen if something didn't change for their town very soon. So then we're just asking you to apply how this concept of just taking what you need instead of all that you could get applies to everyday life, and kind of what that looks like, and kind of what you would be faced with. So like thinking about trick-or-treating. Let's say you went trick-or-treating and you got so much candy that you're going to have candy for a whole year. And your brother or sister was quarantined and they couldn't go. Do you keep all that candy for yourself, or do you just take what you need, which is a little bit of sweets to last you for, a month or so, and you share the rest with your brother or sister? I don't know. Candy's not really a need, but I think that we all need a little sweet stuff in our life every now and then. So what would you do? So it's just asking you to think about situations in real life and then apply that concept, what you think Pop means, to that real life situation. So you can use some of the examples that I gave in this discussion, or you can come up with your own. I'm going to go ahead and move us to the next two questions. Gonna have to make my face a little smaller, I think. All right. This is like a big thinking question. This is something that adults and people struggle with all the time. Can money bring people happiness? Can money bring people unhappiness? So your response is basically going to be your thoughts and feelings about this. You're going to say yes or no. Money can or cannot bring people happiness. And then you're going to say, I also believe that money can or cannot bring people unhappiness. And then, of course, I want you to explain your thoughts or your thinking on this. Then question 3 says, what would you do if a meteorite landed in your backyard? So we're not just asking, would you like freak out, I'd probably, I don't know what I was going to say. We're not asking for your reaction necessarily. We're asking, would you have followed in Pop's footsteps? Would you have done something similar? Would you have used the money to give back to your community? Would you have handled it the same way Pop did? Would you have kept it all for yourself? Would you have kept it a secret? So that kind of thing. What would you have done if you were faced with the same situation that the family in our drama is faced with? So you will just start your response. If a meteorite landed in my backyard, I would, and then you will fill in from there. Make sure you always explain your thinking, because what you have to say and what you're thinking is important. And you learning how to express that is even more important, because it really doesn't do you any good to have those amazing thoughts if you aren't able to share it with the rest of the world. So make sure you do a good job on that and you put some thought and some time into them. It shouldn't take you that long because it's only 3 questions. And again, it's just kind of sharing what you think and then supporting your thoughts and explaining. So I will see you again tomorrow. As we wrap up this slide deck, we'll be focusing on your choose a task activity and how then you'll go about turning that in. I love and miss you guys, and I hope you're doing well. I cannot wait to see you back in the classroom, and reach out and let me know if you have any questions or if you have a need for extra support. I'm here for you guys. Just let me know.